Very good evening and welcome to Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. We'll start with our top story. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated in the Veer Diwas program at Bharat Mandapam in the national capital, New Delhi. On this occasion, PM Modi flagged off a march past by youths. The Veer Diwas marks the martyrdom of Shri Guru Gobind Singh's sons, Sahibzadas Baba Zorawar Singh and Baba Fateh Singh. Addressing the event marking Veer Diwas, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that youth power can take the country to new heights which is beyond imagination. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that today the country is remembering the immortal sacrifice of Veer Sahibzadas and taking inspiration from them. Prime Minister expressed his happiness that Veer Diwas is now being celebrated at the international level as well. Programs being organized in Britain, Australia, New Zealand, UAE and Greece. And just a day after Christmas, Indian Prime Minister's YouTube channel has reached 20 million subscribers, a first for any world leader. India's Home Minister Amit Shah and Chief of the ruling party, the Bharatiya Janata Party's JP Nadda, visited Gurdwara Bara Sikh Sangat at Bada Bazar in Kolkata on the occasion of Veer Diwas. Indian Navy commissioned its latest stealth-guided missile destroyer Imphal at Naval Dockyard in the western part of the country, Mumbai. Imphal is a cutting-edge warship designed by Indian Navy's Warship Design Bureau and constructed by Mazgaon Dock Limited. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh graced the ceremony. Speaking on the occasion, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh described INS Imphal as a shining example of Atmanirbharta in defence and a reflection of the commitment of Indian Navy towards national security. The Indian Defence Minister also warned those who were behind recent drone attacks on MV Camp Pluto in Arabian Sea and drone attack on vessel MV Sai Baba in Red Sea. During his visit to Russia, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held a meeting with leading representatives of the Russian strategic community in Moscow on Monday. He spoke about the importance of rebalancing and the emergence of multipolarity and also discussed connectivity, multilateralism, big power competition and regional conflicts. Vice President of India Jagdeep Dhankar today presided over the 18th convocation ceremony of Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak. He presented medals and certificates to the meritorious students. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman visited the southern state of Tamil Nadu to review the flood damage and ongoing relief work in the rain-battered Tuticorin district. Finance Minister inspected the photograph displaying the flood damage. Normalcy is gradually returning with the authorities involved in relief and restoration work. MV Camp Pluto, the Liberian flagged chemical tanker with sustained damage after a suspected drone attack last week, arrived in Mumbai. The ship had 21 Indian and 1 Vietnamese crew. A charter plane carrying around 300 passengers, primarily Indians, that was grounded in France for 4 days has finally arrived in the western Indian city of Mumbai. India reported a total of 4,170 active cases of COVID-19 with 412 new cases in the last 24 hours. India is closely investigating the new subvariant and stressed the need to ramp up testing. In a recent operation in India's Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir, security forces have arrested 3 people and seized weapons. Interrogation is in progress. The Indian markets ended in green on Tuesday. Sensex climbed to 29.84 points to settle at 71,336.80. While Nifty rises 91.95 points to settle at 21,441.35. The Indian rupee falls 3 paise to settle at 83.19 against the US dollar. Gold future maturing on 5th February next year stood at Rs 63,133 per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on 5th March next year stood at Rs 75,521 per kg on the MCX. The foreign direct investment inflow in India stood at $36 billion in 2013-14 and registered its highest ever annual FDI inflow of $85 billion in the financial year 2021-2022. An increase of 64% in FDI has been registered this October. India has made the first ever payment in rupees for the crude oil purchased from UAE. Both the nations had signed a memorandum of understanding to settle trade in national currencies in June this year. The move will bolster cooperation in areas like trade, energy and climate action. Asian stocks held ground at Tuesday opening as Japan's Nikkei 225 was flat at 33,245.95, while Topix eased 0.10%. Markets in Hong Kong, Indonesia, Australia and New Zealand are closed for public holidays. Oil prices stabilized after a significant weekly surge, focusing on potential disruptions in the Red Sea from recent Houthi attacks on vessels. Ukraine destroyed a Russian warship in Crimea. Ukrainian air forces attacked Russian town of Feodosia overnight with cruise missiles and destroyed the warship. Ukraine's air defense systems destroyed 13 of 19 drones Russia launched at Ukraine in an overnight attack. More than 30 people have vied to be nominated as candidates in Russia's presidential election. Jailed Russian opposition politician Alexei Navalny confirmed his arrival at an Arctic prison. He said he was in good spirits. Navalny posted an update on X after disappearing for more than 2 weeks. He also said he had seen his lawyer. A draft law was posted on the website of Ukraine's parliament on Monday. Ukraine earlier said it was working on a bill at request of military. The draft law posted on the website of Ukraine's parliament proposed lowering age of those who can be mobilized for combat duty to 25 from 27. Ukrainian government proposed to its parliament to terminate a free trade agreement with Belarus. Ukraine said the proposal is due to Belarus's involvement in the illegal use of force against Ukraine. Philippines denied accusation of China that said the island nation was trying to provoke conflict in South China Sea. A mother and her 4 children were found dead in Paris. Hunt for mother's spotter is on, who has been suspected of murders. Mexican migrants spent Christmas morning at the US-Mexico border in Arizona waiting to be processed by US Border Patrol. Mexican migrants also made their way on through US state of Chiapas. The group also included citizens of Central America and the Caribbean. China launched a carrier rocket into space off its southern Pacific coast, sending 3 experiment satellites into the orbits. Iranian Foreign Ministry said Egypt and Iran have embarked on a good path towards constructive relations. Iran and Egypt relations are improving after years of several diplomatic ties between the two countries. Several thousand people gathered in front of the Central Election Commission building in Serbia to protest over an election earlier this month. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with soldiers in northern Gaza. On the visit, Netanyahu affirmed its military that they are not going to stop and the conflict will continue until the end. Benjamin Netanyahu also said that Israel would not succeed in freeing the remaining hostages held in Gaza without applying military pressure. Hostages' family members sat in the chamber looking down on Netanyahu holding posters of their relatives and intermittently interrupting him. Several provinces in southern Thailand have been hit by severe flooding after days of heavy rain. And the residents in US state of Nebraska woke up to a white Christmas after a winter storm dumped freezing rain and snow. Beijing broke its record for hours of sub-zero temperatures in December dating back to 1951 after a cold wave swept swathes of the country. The Bavarian town of Kalmuns was flooded on Christmas Day after heavy rainfall caused the nearby river Knob to burst its banks. Hail fell in a town in Australia's New South Wales, creating a whiteout landscape on a Christmas day. Several cities across northern India are shrouded in a thick layer of fog since Monday that has affected rail and airline services. And due to dense fog, Delhi Airport is experiencing delays in both arrivals and departures for international and national flights. 14 train services were also affected because of low visibility in the northern zone of the Indian Railways. Dense to very dense fog will continue over northwest and parts of adjoining central India during the next 3-4 days. The Karnikara Mandapam of Kunamangalam Bhagwati Temple in Kozhikode has been selected for UNESCO's Asia Pacific Award for Cultural Heritage Conservation. The Karnikara Mandapam, that is the semi-open hall, has been reconstructed in recent years without losing its originality, the very reason for it to get the UNESCO recognition. In the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, at Ayodhya, the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Teerath Kshetra Trust released photos showing the current status of Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple construction work. Preparations are at the final stage for the inauguration of Ram Temple at Ayodhya. The grand inauguration is scheduled to take place on 22nd January. Carpenters in Ayodhya carved out wooden replicas of Ram Temple to show their enthusiasm. In yet another event, a vegetable vendor from the capital city of India's Uttar Pradesh made a world clock that depicts the time of 9 countries simultaneously. He later dedicated the clock to Ram Mandir Trust. Tourists flock Shimla, the state capital of India's hill state, Himachal Pradesh, for winter carnival, running for a week until January 5 next year. Himachal Pradesh's first ever Shimla Winter Carnival is aimed at reviving tourism and boosting the Queen of Hills charm. At least 37,000 women from Ahir clan gathered to perform the traditional Ras dance in India's western Gujarat state. Drone footage showed a sea of women dressed in traditional Indian attire performing the dance Ras in an act of spiritual offering to the Hindu deity Lord Krishna. An Indian food delivery company unveiled its annual report on its ordering trends, revealing the 3 most ordered dishes on the platform. Biryani and pizza are continuing to dominate the charts. Over 10.09 crore biryani orders placed through food delivery app. 2 dozen German swimmers known as the Berlin Seals enjoyed their traditional Christmas Day dip in a chilly Berlin lake. The group, founded in 1980 with temperatures over 10 degrees Celsius, swimmers were able to walk straight into the water without removing ice chunks. London's top architects are constructing a futurist gingerbread city at the annual 2023 Gingerbread City competition. Over 50 architects, designers and engineers will use cooking ingredients to create a tiny city. The event runs from December 2nd to January 7th, 2024. China's winter tourism project is boosting economic growth and dynamism due to ice snow activities. Regions like Inner Mongolia and Xinjiang Uyghur offer unique winter sports programs with online travel trends indicating a surge in interest. Company Humane is gearing up to unveil world's first wearable AI pin. The product is slated for shipment to consumers beginning in March 2024. Diverging from traditional consumer tech items, the AI pin stands out with its display-free design. It relies on voice and laser ink technology to effectively communicate information through an AI chatbot. Actor Dino Moria, along with several others, members of Christian community, attended the luncheon at PM Modi's residence. Kangana Ranaut's action-packed thriller Tejas set to premiere on January 5th next year on Z5. Title track of Katrina Kaif, Vijay Sethupathi starrer Merry Christmas is out. The song is sung by Ash King and composed by Preetam. Mahesh Babu's film Guntur Karam unveils a glimpse of their upcoming dance track starring Babu and Sri Leela, composed by Thaman S. Shah Rukh Khan's latest film Donkey's worldwide box office collection stood at 157 crore rupees within its first 3 days of the release. Indian actress Prabhas' latest film Salar Part 1 Ceasefire has crossed 450 crore rupees collection at the worldwide box office within just 4 days of its release. On the occasion of Christmas, Britain's Prince and Princess of Wales released a new photograph of their 3 children. It is the second festive image to be released this month. BTS will soon release his next single, Wherever You Are. He will be collaborating with American singer UMI for his new song. The track will stream from December 30th, 2023. Singer-songwriter Dua Lipa is currently exploring Rajasthan's majestic forts and palaces as she kicked off her holiday celebrations in India. Netflix has just dropped the first trailer of the sci-fi epic Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. The action-packed Part 2 will stream on April 19 next year. Fast bowler Prasidh Krishna has made debut for India in the first test against South Africa at Centurion. South Africa pacer Nandre Burger and batter David Bedingham have made debuts for South Africa against India at Centurion. Indian captain Rohit Sharma says whether he will play T20 International Cricket World Cup or not will be known soon. The Afghanistan Cricket Board has decided to delay the 2024 annual central contracts for national players Mujibur Rahman, Fazal Haq Farooqi and Naveenul Haq. Pakistan's tight bowling has restricted Australia to 187 for 3 on the opening day of the Boxing Day Test against Pakistan on Tuesday. Bangladesh are hopeful that their maiden ODI win in New Zealand will prepare them for the upcoming T20I series against the host. India has named 34 probables who will take part in a senior women's hockey coaching camp starting Wednesday. All India Football Federation President Kalyan Chaubey has called for a meeting on December 31st to discuss refereeing situation and take steps to improve football. Manchester United and visiting Aston Villa both will be looking to rebound from weekend setbacks when they meet on Boxing Day at Old Trafford. Line honours favourites Andu Comanche and Law Connect were both after a rocky start during the Sydney to Hobart yacht race on Tuesday. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.